for joining us today, Darcy. This is our sort of new Anagenix interview series where we bring some guests and family or friends on to have a chat with them about their lives and if they've used our product, to kind of hear about their experiences. So for, I guess, the listeners who don't really know who you are, can you kind of tell us a bit more about yourself and your background? And what
Sure. My name is Darcy, and basically I deal with a lot of food products. I've got a background in science. However, I've been doing a lot of food type stuff over the last few years. And I've got an interstitial lung disease called sarcoidosis, as well as a type of arthritis.
We know that you've been taking BerriQi for a while, so I just want
Yes.
to ask you a few questions around that.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
yeah, how did you come across our product BerriQi, and what made you want to try it and take it?
Well, there was, so I'd been doing research into sarcoidosis and what could potentially help with that. And BerriQi was one of the products that I had actually found. And so through a friend, he put me onto BerriQi, and yeah, so I found some of the promotional material and got some, and have been taking it pretty much every day for about 4 months. So and you know, the literature talked about lung health and what it potentially did, and so with lung health, that's super important to me. So I realized that I needed to try the product for sure.
Was there a specific, I guess, science angle that really drew you to the product?
Yeah, well, there was actually science around it. So you see a lot of products that are not pharmaceutical grade products, that are more in the nutraceutical market, and there's often not a lot of science. So when you can say anything, then you can claim anything, and that's the problem, is you never know what's real and what's not. So there was a lot of science around BerriQi, and that's something that actually really appealed to me. It really appealed to the scientist in me. When I saw it, I read the references, and I realized that there was actually something to it, rather than just being another product that everybody claims. You know, there's all sorts of things that people claim for all sorts of product, and there's no scientific evidence behind them whatsoever. So the fact that BerriQi actually had some science behind it was very important to me, because that is at least a basis of understanding. And you know, good science is without emotion. Good science leads you exactly where the data takes you.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. So I guess the whole how BerriQi helps with anti-inflammation, the reduction of mucus, and the M2 macrophage stuff.
Yes, that's exactly what we're looking for. That's exactly it. So BerriQi, for example, was speaking directly to me, because I've got those issues exactly going on in my lungs. You know, I'd hazard a guess that maybe a third of the world's population has that happening in their lungs, but they just don't really know it.
Yeah.
Inflammation and unchecked inflammation down the road leads to lots of very poor outcomes. And once you lose the elasticity in your lungs, once you lose the real quality of your lung health, that's a real negative. So if you can have something like BerriQi that's going to be able to restore some of that, that's amazing.